Welcome back to my channel Quest for Knowledge. Today we are going to discuss all the MCQs which is related to human resource management, and it is going to be very beneficial for those who are going to attempt UGC NET in HRM this year. Okay, so first question is, stages in the history of development of management thoughts were given by Herbert G. Hicks. After this, who coined the term scientific management? So the term scientific management is coined by Frederick Winslow Taylor. So answer C is the answer, option C is the answer. W.F. Taylor's important writing includes Shop Management, Principle of Scientific Management. It means the answer is C, both A and B. Deliberate restriction in output scientific management means systematic soldiering. A is the answer. Which of the following element of scientific management was given by Taylor? It's all of these. D is the answer. Elton Mayo conducted his Hawthorne experiment in the Western Electric Company. Arrange the following stages of the Hawthorne experiment as they are conducted. So here this is very important question. Answer is C. Okay, so answer is B. First is the illumination experiment, after that relay assembly test group, and then mass interviewing program, and then bank wiring observation. Very important question. First they did the illumination, and then relay assembly test group, and then mass interviewing, and then gone for the bank wiring observation. So answer B. After that, Elton Mayo's contribution of management was a development thought, was related to human relation approach. It was a non-economic reward, social man. So the answer is all of these. Okay, now we'll discuss the last. So which of the following element of scientific is all of this? Who was associated with illumination experiment? Now only we discussed. Elton Mayo is the answer. Father of human relation approach is also Elton Mayo. Who was the champion of the welfare movement? It is Robert Owen. Okay, and Chester Bernard. Important writing include all of this is the answer, as he has been written the function of the executive, organization and management, elementary condition of business, morale. So all of this is the answer. So control function cannot be performed. All of these, planning is also needed, organizing should be there, staffing should be there, then only controlling is also performed. One who has too little work is called a squealer. No smoking in the factory is an example of rule. For more such MCQs, do follow me so that I will be uploading all. Herbert Hicks has divided the period into 4 distinct stages, which is classical and neoclassical, which is 1930 to 50, and the modern period, which is 1950 to present. So the emergence of management is the matter of mere chance. So Herbert Hicks has divided the period into 4 distinct stages. Okay, again this can be a question. Okay, so need to be very careful with this. In the classical theory of management, we have the bureaucratic model of Max Weber, scientific management concept by W.F. Taylor, and the functions of administrative process management theory by Henry Fayol. So these 3 theories come under the classical theory. Why? Because bureaucratic model is written in the 1900s, which is by Max Weber. Okay, and Taylor, it is 1910, and last, the administrative theory is also proposed by Fayol in 1910. After that, the neoclassical theory, which is again it is divided into 2, which is human relationship movement like Elton Mayo and Roethlisberger, which is around 1930, and behavioral science, which is by Maslow and Granger, which is of 1940. So the new classic is being divided into behavioral science and human relationship approach. So human relationship famous authors are Roethlisberger and Mayo, and behavioral sciences are Maslow and McGregor. Now we'll understand the modern management theory, which is out of modern management theory, which is out of quantitative approach, okay, and then system approach, and then contingency approach. So this comes from 1950 to present. This is the principles of scientific management, which is science, not a rule of thumb. In every element of management, they need to adopt science, the best manner of doing the things, all the tasks to be done in a best method, so that we need to adopt science into this. Second is that we need to maintain harmony, which is cooperation and coordination, and every work should have to be done into cooperation, not individualism, and there should be a development of person to his or her greatest efficiency. So these all are the techniques. So first is the functional foremanship. Functional foremanship is of two different heads which has four managers each. So now, in functional foremanship, which is completely separated into two, which is planning in charge, and the another is the production in charge. In the planning in charge, we have instruction clerk who gives instruction, route clerk who clears the route of the production. Third is the time and cost clerk who always look over the time and cost of the employee, and disciplinarian who maintains the discipline. And the production in charge, there is speed boss who calculates that the work should be done on time, gang boss who makes sure that the work is being done completely, repair box who makes sure that all the machines everything are working in condition, and last is the inspector who keeps on inspecting for the smooth functioning. So these are coming under the functional foremanship. After that, standardization and simplification. Standardization is creating a standard of the product, quality of the product, so that is standardization, and creating more simplicity of the work. Method study is trying to adopt the best method for each and every task, and then differential piece rate system is based on the pieces they make, based on to that the labor they'll get. After that, fatigue study, we need to give them intervals and breaks so that they can get refreshed. Time study, so what work can be done on what allotted time, so that time study. And motion study is to avoid unnecessary motions, movements, so that are coming under the motion study. Now we'll discuss some of the Taylorism and scientific management. Why? Because it has asked in the question, so might be it will be very helpful. So scientific management, which is Taylorism, is written by Frederick Winslow Taylor. So let me tell you, he's the father of scientific management, born in 1856 and died in 1915. So he was very famous during the end of the 19th century and in the early 20th century. He wanted to increase the productivity of factories. Very important. He wanted to improve the productivity of factories by increasing the workers' efficiency. So he was considered as the enemy of worker during his death. He wanted to his aim was to increase the productivity by increasing each task into very small group. So first he wanted to ensure all the groups to be work in a very small group to complete all small tasks, and then he used to observe each and every worker. He used to check the timings of the worker, and then he used to design the work. So it was a process of rationalizing and formalizing the task. After that, identification of problem. So Taylorism, first of all, he identified the problem. At the age of 28, he was the chief engineer in Midwell. He believed that everything was unsystematic and worker had more knowledge on tools, methods, materials than the management, so that he want to use it as a key to control the work. After that, we need to understand the Taylor's assumption. So Taylor's assumption is of two way. One is the natural soldiering and second is the systematic soldiering. Natural soldiering is that in humans has inborn behavior to avoid work. Okay, they are lazy, they avoid work. Systematic soldiering is that result of an ill-designed workplace which allow worker to work on their pace. Like small groups will be, even the small group of people will also have the peer pressure control, so that it leads to the restriction on the output. A tailored strategy is that first goal is to gain control of the knowledge of work and the ability to work and to control the pace of work. Second is to work and reward. So worker will not get the reward uniformly. Based on to their skill and performance, they will get reward. Third, worker will have individual responsibility to work and to increase the output. After that, he included financial and non-financial reward. Okay, and principles of scientific management. Principles of scientific management, that there should be science on each element of work. Okay, we need to find the best way, so that will possible only with the help of science. And then we need to select the worker, train the worker, teach the worker, and there should be cooperation and the work should be divided. What the Taylor says, that the manager should have the thinking and planning, designing of work kind of a capability, and the worker should do the only the implementation of all the planning. Okay, and then there should be handling resistant. It means fair day's wage for a fair day's work. Taylor's legacy is that MBO, TQM, that is a management by objective, total quality management. So these all related to the Taylor ideas. Just in time, these all are the other theories which completely relate to the Taylor management, Taylor's scientific theory of management. So that is why they are considered as the Taylor's legacies. If you found this video helpful, do like, share and subscribe, and do follow, so that I might be updating all the HRM related videos.